Our first guest is Darrin Bell, the creator of the syndicated comic strip Candorville, who's here to talk a little about what he does, and to talk about his new book, The Starbucks at the End of the World. Candorville appears in about 100 newspapers.
I've gotta say, Conan, I'm thrilled too.
What is it?
What is what?
What is a newspaper?
Ha ha ha. Funny. Well, I'm thrilled to be here, Conan.
I would ask if anyone in the audience knew what a newspaper is, but this is TBS. You know what I'm saying.
No, I actually don't know what you're saying.
I'm saying we don't have the budget for the cricket sound effects. Right, Andy?
Andy?
We don't exactly have the budget for Andy either. This is basic cable. So we replaced him with a sock puppet in the chair next to you.
There is no sock puppet in the chair next to me.
We didn't exactly have the budget for the sock puppet. Just roll with it. I'm really curious about this newspaper of which you speak. Is it anything like a steam engine?
Newspapers? Like a steam engine.
Yeah, or something else old-timey. Do I have to wear a top hat and a big mustache and monocle to use it? Do I have to rub two sticks together, or strike it with a stone to get it to work? Do I have to turn a crank?
Yeah. Newspapers are just about obsolete. But you know what? The news isn't. And there's still a hunger for real journalism, complete with all the stuff newspapers are famous for. Investigative reporters with bags under their eyes, angry editors who tear reporters a new asshole if they don't have 3 solid sources for an article, informed analysis of the facts by people with inside information or with expertise in the subjects they were pontificating about. That's why the Huffington Post is more popular than the Daily Kos. That's why the New York Times is one of the top destinations for the news online, even though they're charging people for it now. And it's cool to me, because where the news goes, comics go. It was only a matter of time before Joseph Pulitzer realized he could attract kids and other people who didn't give a shit about the news to his paper, just by adding comics. It's only a matter of time before Arianna Huffington realizes the same damn thing and adds some freaking comics. You know.
I understand the 2 components of the word. There's news. I know what that is. And there's paper. Now Andy knows what that is. He goes through enough of it. We have to shop in bulk just for his trailer. If you know what I'm getting at.
Yeah,
Andy poops a lot is what I'm getting at.
Yes, I got that.
Let's move on. I hear you just came out with a new book, and it's very interesting, because it collects all the comics you created during Barack Obama's historic campaign to become America's first, its very first ever, Hawaiian president.
As an aside, I've learned a lot these past couple years. Namely that my first grade teacher Mrs. Cass was wrong when she told me Hawaii was not the capital of Kenya.
Geography was never my strong suit either. But did you feel any special responsibility to cover the election, considering you're black? Your mom's Jewish though, so you're sort of like Obama in that you're not just black, you're also white. Right?
Yes, I'm also white. But only around black people. When I'm around white people I may as well be Wesley Snipes. I remember Berkeley, I couldn't get through a single political science discussion without the whole room turning to me as if I were some sort of fountain of wisdom whenever black issues, or even the topic of European colonialism in Africa came up. I was like, whoa, dude, I'm from the Valley, not the Congo.
I hear the Valley is actually the capital of Kenya.
You know what, though? Candorville was the only politically oriented comic strip created by an African-American not named Aaron Magruder or Keith Knight. So, I did have a responsibility to make sure my voice was part of the record. I followed the hell out of that campaign, from the primaries to the inauguration. And that's actually what the new Candorville book is mostly about.
But the name of the book is The Starbucks at the End of the World.
That's from the main storyline in the book. If you'll remember, toward the end of the campaign it got really nasty. McCain ran an advertisement that said Obama wanted to teach 4-year-olds about sex. And next to that tagline, he put an image of Obama leering at the word sex. In actuality, Obama had supported a bill that would educate preschoolers about sexual abuse, teach them how to protect themselves against that sort of thing. Well, it was the last straw. John McCain was a Vietnam vet, a prisoner of war. His entire campaign, his entire political identity, was predicated on the notion that this was an honorable man. And he showed some spark of that during the campaign when some batshit insane woman shouted that Obama was a Muslim foreigner, and McCain corrected her. But now he just plain lost it. You don't accuse someone of going after kids. You just don't. That's not an honorable thing to do, even in a political campaign.
Right. Are we still talking about McCain, or did someone say something to you about the time I ran for class president? Never mind. Go on.
So in the closing months of the campaign, I sat down and watched Apocalypse Now, and wrote a 2-month-long series where my main character, Lamont Brown, was sent to Vietnam as an embedded journalist to accompany Delta Force on a perilous mission up the No Dung River in search of John McCain's lost honor. Only in the 30 years since McCain had been there, there'd been a lot of commercialization in Vietnam, which is where Starbucks comes in. I won't say any more, but if you've ever seen Apocalypse Now, you'll love this story. I'd give out bootlegs of that movie with every book if I could.
You really watched Apocalypse Now while you wrote it?
Yeah, every single story beat from the movie is in this series. It was freaking amazing to me how well it all worked as an analogy. But that wasn't the end-all be-all of the election. There was all the stuff beforehand, like the primary against Clinton, the irony of people voting for Obama but voting against civil rights for gay people. The sequence where the ghost of Frederick Douglass tries to buy inauguration tickets from C-Dog, who was selling them from his trench coat in an alley. The euphoria and the pride we all felt in our country when the moment came in which all men are created equal finally meant something to people who thought it would never apply to them. It's all in this book.
Andy wants to know where he can buy it, because he sort of missed the election. Andy says there was a Gilligan's Island marathon on, and he just had to see if they would ever get rescued.
Dude. Conan. Brother. There. Is. No. Andy.
You're hurting Andy's feelings. But that's okay, it saves me the trouble.
Jesus Christ.
The Starbucks at the End of the World is the 4th Candorville collection. You can buy it at Candorville.com, where you can also find the first 3 books, Thank God for Culture Clash, Another Stereotype Bites the Dust, and Katrina's Ghost, which was about Hurricane Katrina's effect on the country. Andy liked that one a lot.
Thank you, Andy. Candorville.com. The Starbucks at the End of the World. Get it now and I'll autograph it and include a little sketch.
You see, Andy too.